How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Nuff Bullshit. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Mike.
Jake?
Where's Jake?
Where's Jake?
Isn't Jake supposed to be here? Wait.
Oh, you know what? Jake's sick. So, Mike, welcome. Thanks for subbing in as co-host.
I appreciate it. You know what? I'm always happy to be a part of this podcast and fill in for Jake here.
Let's hear it for Mike.
All right.
So, Mike, how's your day been so far?
You know what? Pretty good. You know, it was a nice day at work. Jake wasn't there either, you know, so he took the L the whole day today, actually. He must be feeling pretty bad, but it was good. Relaxing day at work. Started, football, right?
Football,
Thanksgiving.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans out there.
Yeah.
Trump's giving?
Happy Trumpsgiving, everybody. Yeah. So yeah, I threw some money on some football games. So
like we always do.
Yeah, like, you know what? I don't think there's been very many games I haven't bet money on this year.
Yeah, we've been winning though.
That's good. We have. You know what? We have.
We're having fun.
Oh,
Can you even call it an addiction if you're winning?
You know what? I gotta say no. Maybe because I'm an addict, but I don't know.
Because when you think of addiction, you always put a negative connotation.
Yeah,
on
I think like crack or like something big.
Or even like if you do have a gambling addiction, it's usually tied to or associated to losing, losing money.
Usually,
but we're not losing.
But we're not losing money. I mean, when you go to this casino, you do.
Yeah, but we don't do that as much anymore.
Not as much,
except for the one time you went on the online casino.
Yeah, you know, you have one slow day at work and $170 just magically disappears out of your Bodog account, but we won't relive that because we're back from that.
Yeah, because you crawled back.
We crawled back.
We can thank the Cowboys for that. We can thank the Patriots.
The Patriots did save me. Yeah,
and we can thank the Vikings for it too, but because they lost.
Because they lost.
And we always bet.
I love the Vikings, but only when I bet against them.
Yes, absolutely. So, now that you've been watching football and gambling on it, because you didn't really like football before that.
No, I didn't.
So honestly, gambling got you into football.
Yes, it did. But I do gotta say that though gambling was the driving force into me watching football, I like it now.
All right, well, let me test you a little bit.
All right.
Who's your favorite player, Mike?
You know what? Might get a lot of controversy because you know he's a big popular player, but I like Ezekiel Elliott on the Cowboys. Cowboys have... You know what? I respect the leadership role Dak Prescott took, and you know what? He's led the team to, I think, 10 today. Yeah,
because they just won.
Yeah,
we
10
just
and 1.
We just watched the game. They won 31-24.
Yeah, 31-24. Yeah, didn't cover the spread though.
No,
but Ezekiel played well.
He did.
He's one of my favorite players. I like him as a running back for sure.
All right,
if you could bet on Ezekiel, I might gotta start looking into that.
You can bet on the over under how many yards he's gonna have.
I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah,
he's a pretty good player.
He's a really good.
I might do that. I might start doing that.
Yeah. All right. So here's another trivia question.
All right.
How many yards is a holding penalty?
Oh God.
Offensive holding.
Offensive holding?
Yeah.
I want to say 5, but I'm gonna go with 10.
It is 10.
It is 10. All right. I like. Yeah. See, you know what? There's pros and cons to everything, and I think I'm just, I'm taking it as money's going into my account, and I'm learning a lot about football.
Well, Mike, do you think gambling makes you a bad person?
No. I don't think gambling makes you a bad person. I think gambling brings people together. And I think it's a fun activity. But like any fun activity, you let it get out of hand, well, it'll fuck your life up. So you just got to keep everything in moderation. It's like, it's like McDonald's, Jamie. Come on. Who doesn't eat McDonald's? Everybody eats McDonald's. Everybody likes it, blah, blah, blah. But if you eat it every day and eat an excessive amount of it, you're probably going to die sooner than I will. So you can still eat it, but just every once in a while.
Absolutely,
that's it. Same thing with gambling.
Do you feel judged when you tell people that you're gambling, or are you open about it?
I'm pretty open about it, but I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. So
that's good.
So I don't know if I'm the best example for that, but if you care what people think, you probably shouldn't tell people that you're a gambler because then they might judge you. But I don't know. I think I don't give a shit about that. It's my money, right? If I was gambling with someone else's, like if you gave me money and I was gambling with your money and talking about it, that's questionable. But it's my own money. I work for it, and I choose to spend it, how I want.
Right.
I'll throw some money on some football games. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't either. I know recently, not even just recently. Most of our last 3-4 years, I've noticed that we've come under fire for some of the things that we do.
Oh, man.
From different groups of people.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. And you know what? But that I've come under fire from, for different reasons, though. I'd say a broad spectrum of reasons. Not just gambling. Actually, I don't really think I have from gambling, actually, to be honest with you.
Never gambling.
I don't think I ever have. No.
No.
Not yet, anyway. I'm sure it'll happen. I mean, I'm sure it's inevitable.
It's just one of the. It's one of the many things that you do that makes you such a shit person.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's got their own opinion.
Well, Mike, we both like to drink.
Of course, we do. Yep, that is a fact, and I do enjoy that.
And I wouldn't say we drink the most. I'd say we drink more than most people.
Yeah.
Not most, but we drink more than a good amount of people.
Yep.
But there are people who drink more excessively than we do. We're in the middle. We drink. We have casuals.
Yeah, we have a good time with it.
Yes, we have a good time. We don't go overboard.
No.
Most of the time.
No.
But some people don't like that.
No, I know. And at the end of the day, but here's the thing I look at it. This is how I look at it. If you don't like what I do, okay? Well, I don't give a shit. you don't like what I do, don't talk to me. Don't hang out with me. Don't follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I don't care. Whatever. But don't judge me for it.
No.
Right? Don't think that you're going to come in here and you're going to tell me this, that, and the other thing. No. It's my life. Relax.
I think I know what direction I want to take this in now that we've talked about it for a second.
All right.
So we talked when we were sitting at home watching football, we were talking about things, and I read something that said a boyfriend, a college football player or a high school football player, shot his ex-girlfriend cheerleader because she left him. Mm-hmm. Shot her when she was sleeping. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a little extreme.
Very.
Then we also have the college football player. This is another football. I don't know why they're both football. It's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
But he got a girl pregnant, and he started actually doing well getting recruitment. I think he was in high school actually too.
Yeah.
And he was getting recruitment from college teams.
Yep.
And the girl who was pregnant, the future mother of this man's child, and he wasn't leaving. He was still there.
No, he was doing his part.
She felt like she was becoming less important than football, and she boiled water. I'm sure there was a little argument beforehand. I'm sure this. I don't know if it was predetermined that she was going to do this or if she didn't premeditate it, but she boiled water and poured it on top of his head. He's not playing football anymore. I'm going to tell you that. He's pretty burnt.
Yeah, he's pretty. I don't know if that was a. I wonder if that was a heat of the. I wonder if she was thinking while she was making dinner or whatever the scenario was that was her method.
Yeah.
Or if it was just on the whim, she was mad and she just threw on water.
But do you see a common theme there, Mike?
I do see a common
relationships and control.
Yes, very common theme. Very common theme.
So I think today we're going to talk about relationships and control, and
I like that. I think
you can impart a lot of wisdom on there.
I got some insight into that. Yeah. I could go with that. I'll roll with that.
Okay.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you're gonna be in a relationship, I don't know. I'm not an expert on relationships, just for the record, everybody. I'm really not. I'm just a very logical person. So when you look at things logically, I think you can't really be wrong. Everyone's opinion's this, that, and the other thing. But if you look at things logically, you can't really dispute logic, right?
Right.
So the thing is, if you're like the football player, for instance, right? Yep. You're mad at him. He's neglecting you. He's not texting you back in 30 seconds. He's not going to church. Whatever it is. And he, neglecting you, quotations neglecting you. You should probably talk to him before you fucking throw a hot boiling pan of water on all over the guy. You gotta discuss.
But even if, let's say they did discuss and he said, listen, I need to focus on football for a bit here. I'm still here, but let me focus on football.
Right.
She has a choice. She can either leave, she can stay, she can deal with it a different way.
I don't think that's healthy to throw water at people.
No.
I don't.
If you don't like the direction your relationship's going in, you don't have to burn your boyfriend or your girlfriend.
There's other ways to deal with things, I think. And if you I keep running that scenario through my head. She's mad at him. So her thought is, I'm going to burn him with a boiling pot of water. I don't get that. I'd like to just have a conversation. I would see what she was thinking.
What part of the country do you think they're from?
I don't know. Probably
Chicago, maybe.
Probably, yeah. Probably some inner city slum, maybe.
Like Louisiana.
Oh yeah, they're pretty weird down there. I think. Yeah, maybe down there. They use a lot of hot water when they cook down there.
Because I'm not picturing like Texans.
No. Nah.
No. Because you see Texans. The thing about Texans is
it'd be like a barbecue issue. Like his head would be on a
exactly.
or something like that if it was down
and then
there.
I don't think it would be Florida because Florida would be a little bit more creative. I think they
would be more creative too. Maybe an alligator would be involved in this ordeal or something. Yeah, I don't think it'd be hot water.
I'm picturing Louisiana or Chicago.
Yeah. I'd picture that.
Maybe Detroit.
Yeah, they don't got a lot
downtown Detroit.
They don't got a lot going on over there.
Yeah.
Besides the Lions.
which are playing pretty good, actually. As
Yeah.
a side note.
Mm-hmm.
I pushed on them today, but you know what? Hey, they came back.
So back to relationships.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
you can give a little bit of, these aren't, like, obviously these examples aren't going to be as extreme, but the topic today is relationships and control. Now, Mike, let's say you want to hang out. You have a good group of friends. You have a couple groups of friends that you like to hang out with, and
do.
they're important to you.
They are.
You start dating a girl, and less than a month in, maybe she tells you, I don't like that you're hanging out with them. Why aren't you hanging out with me? That's a control issue.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a red flag.
That's a huge red flag. That's a massive red flag. And the thing, I mean, I don't know, girls, they need attention like everybody else, and I get that. But I think you gotta, at the end of the day, mutually respect your partner in the fact that, like, they want to, I mean, if they're going out and doing, like, something destructive, that, okay, I understand, that's wrong. But if they're just going to hang out with their friends, like, I think you should support that.
Yeah.
And not condemn them for that, and not make them feel bad for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think anyway.
Especially in a fresh, like, even in a long-term relationship, that's not healthy. But
No.
in a relationship that's just beginning, you can't be clingy right away.
No, God.
And you're a busy guy. You have golf. You like to golf in the spring and the summer.
Yeah.
And even the early
Quite a
fall.
bit. Yeah, if I can.
You
I'm
could
drumming
work.
now.
You work a lot. Yeah, you're in a band.
Long hours. Now we're in a band now. Like, there's a lot going on. So I think at the end of the day, you gotta, like, respect that. And if you're not cool with that, then just, it's not gonna, you know what I mean? It's not gonna work. There's no reason in drawing it out. That's why I think it's smart to ask questions
Oh, for sure.
before you enter this. That's what I think anyway. I think you should just, be like, just lay out what's gonna happen, right? This is who I am.
Are you talking about a contract?
I understand. Just for I'll explain the contract, because I think this could work for. I don't think it's proper. I think it could work though. Before I explain the contract, let me just let the record show that I will probably never ever do this, but because you can't look at a girl as a business, and I learned that, and I understand that. Blah 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 blah. But hear me out. Okay, so when there's two parties of businesses and they enter into an agreement where one wants some good or service from the other, and they enter an agreement, right? They all outline what the terms and conditions are, right? That's part of doing a deal, or any deal, business, cars, commodities, anything. So at the end of the day, if you're hanging out with a girl or a guy, whatever, we're in 2016. So, whatever.
Are you assuming their gender?
Yeah. Sorry, you can't do that. Sorry, I'll scratch that from the podcast beat. So, we're gonna safely assume that they mutually like each other. So, to just lay out some sort of, not like rules, but just like, okay, this is what I want. This is what you want. This is what I want. This is what you want. I need. You need. Whatever. Lay it out. Slide it across the table. Present it to them. I don't know, in some emotionally affectionate way, so she's all or he's all, oh yeah. So you slide it across the table and just read it through, okay, review it, and then if you agree with terms and conditions, we can sign and we can enter into a mutual relationship. Or if you don't, we can either revisit it and restructure it and then make it work. If not, shake hands, go your separate way. It's extreme, but could avoid a lot of problems, because
You got to a point where that was a very
that was a very real thing for me.
that was a very realistic option.
That
for
I
you.
was very close to entering into that avenue. The next girl I were to see, I didn't,
No.
and I didn't. But I had a very, very serious conversation about that the one time.
Yeah, I
'Cause
remember.
I ran into an issue where I said, "Well, hey,
You're very thorough about it too. You had
oh yeah,
different sections.
there were just section A, section B, for different avenues and things that the relationship would go into. But it's completely extreme and absolutely crazy. But you can't deny that it might not help in certain aspects.
Well, what are some of the things you would have thrown in the contract, personally for you,
Personally, for me,
that were
just-
important to you?
at the time? Okay, let's go back at the time. Okay, so at the time, I would say, like a hobby section, or like an entertainment section, to make it more professional. So yeah, in an entertainment section for me anyway, I would say, I golf, I play drums, and that takes up time. So at a lot of times, with me preemptively telling you that I'm busy that night, there can be no like kickback.
No friction.
There's no friction. You can't, because it's outlined and you signed it, right? Because this is what happens. You get into arguments. He said, she said. I thought you meant this, because we're all texting like fucking idiots nowadays, and blah 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 blah. But she's got a problem. Slide her the contract. Be like, you signed, signed right there, and you said
this wouldn't bother you. So, clearly now we have a breach of contract. You know what happens when you have a breach of contract?
Strike one.
Strike one. There's 3 strikes.
Now, is there any other punishments along with the strikes? Or...
No, they're just. I would just do it like a strike system, and then 3 strikes. It's like, well, you clearly don't take this seriously.
So is 3 strikes a breakup then?
I would assume, or a break, or whatever they call it nowadays. I don't know, a break. I don't know, time off. Maybe we can structure it as time off, or I don't know.
And then you could like maybe.
But then that's a whole
come back to the negotiating table. Maybe she'll have some demands this time. Make it a little bit more.
It could work. It's wrong. It's completely wrong and crazy.
It's kind of like some Sheldon Cooper kind of shit.
It is, but it could avoid so many problems.
Oh, for sure.
So many problems.
I mean,
outline it.
I'm sure someone has done this before.
You know what? I would like to meet him. If anyone who's listening to this podcast right now has done this, or something like this, a variation, you got to let me know. Or Jamie or Jake or somebody know. Because I'd like to read it. Because I was, like, on the edge of doing this.
Oh, yeah, you were getting pretty pissed.
I was on the edge. Because...
Well, you were on a bad streak of girls and...
It was brutal. It was just all this hearsay. I misunderstood it. Let's just clear and concise. Let's just lay it out all on the line.
And I know for a fact one of the sections you'd have in your contract specifically would be a religion section because...
Oh, absolutely.
That has been quite the issue for you.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be quite the section. It'd be a very detailed, in-depth section in that contract. And because this is why. I believe in God. I'll say that. I'm not getting too personal, but I believe in God. He's up there sitting on his chair, you know, doing his thing. That's good. It's great. But here's the thing. You can't start running around thinking you know everything about it and telling me I'm wrong because I, quote, don't. Off what premise? Mm-hmm. Tell me why. Well, because you're wrong. How? Like, if I walked outside B's house and just shot somebody, that's wrong because of the law. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. I would go to jail and probably die in jail because I wouldn't last in jail. So,
honest.
I wouldn't. No, I'm not a big guy. So, but you read something and you say, well, I think it means this. Well, hey, I think it means that. Well, you're wrong. Well, how am I wrong? Who's to say I'm wrong? Who's to say I'm wrong? Because you interpret it one way, I interpret the other. So, how about we do this? How we live our lives, okay? I believe in this, and you believe in that. And if it doesn't work, then we're clearly not, meshed or meant to mesh or whatever. But be together, right? Because I hate when people tell me I'm wrong with no backup, no premise. If you tell me I'm wrong about something, you better tell me why I'm wrong. And if I am, I'll own up to it. But if you tell me wrong because it's something you think that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and then you go back on it, oh god.
Well, I 100% agree with you.
You can't do that.
Because with any religion, there's room for different interpretations. Interpretations.
Perfect word, interpretations. Boom, bang, bing.
Because some people in different, I'm not gonna pick a specific religion because they all have their flaws.
Absolutely.
But
yep, we're not perfect.
And when I mean flaws, I mean with interpretation.
Yes.
So one person might interpret something as a more casual thing, and one person might take it to another extreme.
Right.
So you have the people who follow it to the book and stress over the little tiny details.
It makes your life a living hell.
Yes. Or you can live your life, believe in what you believe.
Excuse me. Yep.
And some people think that you can do it in a casual way and still get to the same spot that the person who's doing it the extreme way.
Exactly.
Did. And who knows if that's
actually
true.
No one knows. That's the beauty of this whole thing.
Maybe you have to be all in extreme, like living your life in that certain direction.
Oh man.
Which means if you are that extreme, and when I say that extreme, I mean no alcohol.
Oh my
you can't
God.
tattoo your body.
You can't.
No gambling. No,
not overweight. Not you can't really. You're everything to the book, to the T.
Or you can actually be in some religions a sinner.
Yep.
And everyone is a sinner. Like even the extremists, the ones who take it to the very extreme,
very, very extreme,
right to the very last page.
Dot all I's, cross all T's.
Yeah.
Yep.
They sin too.
Oh, absolutely.
They break the laws of Allah's book and like whatever religion.
Book, pamphlet you're reading, whatever. Yep.
But it's all about interpretation.
Absolutely. And my point is like, who's to say that like Joe Blow is right and like Billy Steve's wrong? Like how? There's like 50 different interpretations and they're all in different. Like how do you decipher? So how about we all just take a step back and relax. This is how I like to think.
Now let's take before we get off track a little bit. Let's take it back to relationships and try to implement it back into relationships here.
Right. So, here's what I think. You can't at the end of the day, you can't change people, right? You can't. I am who I am, and you are who you are, right? So, I am friends with you because I enjoy who you are as a person, right?
Yes.
So, but if I didn't, I would not be your friend. So that carries over to relationships. So if you don't like things that I do, or I don't like things that you do, because it goes both ways, whose place is it? Whose fucking place is it to tell me that I'm wrong? And how's it my place to tell you that you're wrong? It's not. That just means that we're not going to get on that same path, right? So let's just have a nice day. But some people can't do that. They just keep coming back and keep coming back, because they like that person. And I get it. You like that person or whatever. But you clearly know it's not going to work. You clearly know that. So you just got to avoid that. Because you just got to find that person who's like, on the same level playing field. This is the way I like to think about it. If you're going to be in a relationship and religion is going to be a massive factor in it, you have to be on the same page. Because this is how I view religion. I like cars. Okay, I like cars. I always have. So this is how I like analogy that fits very well. This is to describe religion right here. Religion is like a 3-lane highway, Jamie. 3-lane highway. There's on ramps. There's off ramps. Okay, so there's 3 lanes, and everyone knows that there's the fast lane, there's the middle lane, and there's the slow lane. Okay, now if you're going, let's just say you're driving to Toronto. Okay, so you have 3 lanes to pick from. Okay, so you're in the fast lane. Those are the people who are driving all the R8s, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, M cars, all the very fast, expensive sports cars. Those are the people who are going on missions trips and praying every night and going to church. They're just ripping down the highway, like doing all this stuff and just boom, 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 ripping down the highway, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Then there's the middle lane. Those are the people driving like your Mercedes or your BMWs or your average Audis or your Lexus, right? Your nice, luxurious sports cars driving the middle lane, doing good, going to church every once in a while. They pray pretty consistently, they try to live pretty close to, but not yet there with the people in the first lane. And then there's the slow lane, okay? And the slow lane is the people who drive, like Corolla, Civic, Mazda 3, whatever, your average cars, okay? And those are the people who, they're just living their life. They believe in all of it. They're just living their life. Just driving, taking it one step at a time, just driving slow. At the end of the day, we're all going to make it to Toronto. Are we not?
You're absolutely right.
We're all making it there.
Some people are just going to get there a little bit differently.
There you go. So that's how I look at it. Pick a lane, drive down the highway. Done.
And right? you can always switch lanes.
You can switch lanes. You put your blinker on, you look behind you, you're like,
maybe you want to amp it up a little bit.
You want to amp it up or tone it down. You want to tone it down? Hey, tone her off. Just pop over to the side lane.
Because life is also, it's supposed to be experiencing stuff too to make you grow as a person.
Exactly.
So sometimes things are going to get thrown in your way, and you're just going to need to address them.
Exactly, as they come.
Yeah.
So, there's a big-ass deer hops out on the highway. Well, you probably should avoid that. You probably should try to avoid that, right? So whatever you got to do to avoid that, you got to avoid it, right?
Absolutely.
You got to switch lanes for a bit. Switch lanes, man. Got to hit the brakes, slow her down. Hey, perfect analogy to describe religion. And relationships, too. Same thing. Because some people want a relationship, boom, boom, bang, 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 ripping down the highway. Some people are like, whoa, just take this one day at a time. Just relax.
Absolutely.
Just calm the fuck down. Just hang out.
I like chill relationships.
Yeah,
I like just kind of relaxing.
Well, at the end of the day, we're 21, Jamie. Oh my God. We're 21. I mean, hey, who am I to judge? But at the end of the day, 21, let's just stay in the slow lane and have some fun. That's all I want to do.
Let's do it.
That's it, right? And I think you would agree with that as well.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Just what I think.
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
That's a perfect analogy.
It's a great analogy. I remember when you first brought that up to me. I don't know if you came up with it in the Wendy's, but you definitely told me for the first time in the Wendy's that analogy. That was about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I remember that. It's a great analogy. It's a fantastic analogy.
Because analogies help people associate things with examples, right? So you do that, they're like, oh, that makes sense. Because it does, right? It makes sense, but
it does make sense.
Anything else you want to share on the podcast tonight there, Jimbo?
No, I think, you know what? I think that was a good ending.
I think that was actually, you know what? That analogy's going to stick in people's heads.
Yeah. So, Tonight we got the Steelers and the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday Night Football.
Yep.
It just started.
It just started, actually, just now.
I'm going to tell the folks how much we... So initially we bet $25 on the Steelers to cover a 9-point spread.
Yeah.
Conservative.
Fair
for us.
For us, that's a very conservative standard bet.
But then the Cowboys didn't cover the spread. So we said, let's throw another 15-20 on them.
There you go.
So then we did. But then we got in the car. We're driving here. We're talking about... What are we going to talk about in the podcast? Well, we'll talk about gambling a little bit. You know what we did? We put 85 on the Steelers.
85 on the Steelers.
So we got 85 on the Steelers.
Big Ben's got to come through. He's going to come through. He better come through.
All right, so I'm going to wrap her up. Before we wrap up, first of all, again, happy Thanksgiving. And I was checking SoundCloud the other day. This is kind of interesting. I can look at like the analytics. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the last couple of podcasts, I've kind of jokingly said, like, thanks for listening to a special shout out to our viewers in New Zealand or Croatia or whatever I said.
Yeah.
I went and checked, and I can check which countries are listening. Number 1's Canada, obviously.
Yep.
Number 2's US, 36 listeners this week out of our 80 plays.
Nice.
Number 3, try to take a crack at what you think number 3 was.
Cuba.
Good guess. So I'm going to give you a special shout out.
Okay.
To our listeners in the Netherlands.
The Netherlands?
5 listeners last week.
In the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands.
Where the hell's that? Like Denmark?
B? You're a geography major? You're going to check? You don't know. Don't you get 90s?
I didn't do so hot in geography. I actually figured out Alaska was part of the U.S. like 2 weeks ago.
Where is it? Near Germany. Germany. That's a sick place.
They make some great cars. Way to go, guy. They have some good soccer players.
They got some pretty good schools, too.
Yeah. Do they? I don't know anything about schools.
Some good Bible schools.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I forgot. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, all right. Well, you know what?
Hell of a Bible school, though.
All right, so thanks for listening. Mike, thanks for being a co-host.
Oh, anytime, man.
Thanks for filling in for Jake. You did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so follow us on Twitter, like the Facebook page. We got a YouTube channel, and we put our podcast on there too. Yep. SoundCloud's always got some good shit.
Yep, they got
SoundCloud's always
got some good shit, especially for the people in Germany.
All right, thanks for listening, guys.
Hey, have a good one, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.